Hello everybody, it's Henry. I'm working on a Macan S Porsche 2018 and I'm doing the front brakes. Right now I'm cleaning the caliper, cleaning it real good. I've already compressed it back. I've already took the bolts out. I've done videos on that. I'm reusing the clips that are already in it. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm putting new brakes on. I'm using power stop brake pads. I'm using the old parts. Techstar was the product that was in there before. Brake dust everywhere. Done a good job. I got 40,000 miles on it. Good product, but just messy. So what I've been doing is I use this Meguiar all wheel cleaner, sprayed the caliper down. I'll rinse it off now. The old brake pads were down to 3 mil, and the wear sensor was just about to activate. I done some CRC anti-squeal on the pads. Put the old plates on the new pads. These can go in the trash. I went over the bolts. I got 2 new bolts to go in there. They torque the 20 foot-pound and twist them to 90, and that's equals to 80 to 100 foot-pounds is what I figured out with doing a test. I did a video on that too. They get me all washed. Doing your front brakes, make sure you do a good inspection. Check your CV joint, check your brake lines, check your front end, make sure everything's good to go. Nothing's wrong, nothing's going on down there. You can look for leaks, you can do all kinds of stuff, but actually do a really good job cleaning your calipers. Right? Take some time and try to get as much of it clean as you can. Inside the caliper itself, this is huge. It's got 6 pistons in it. The front end is definitely the stopping on this car. The back ends were probably 5 mil worn out. The fronts were 3. Not too bad. 39,000 miles. Pretty good. Getting all this excess crap out of here, and then I'll have to wash my driveway down. All right, I put a rag on there just so it doesn't, the caliper don't beat up against the body, tear up the paint. Hang it, so you don't want to hang it on the brake line. Don't do that to it. It's too heavy. Very big caliper. I've done some brakes before, but this is definitely a monster. And that's as clean as I can get it. So got it all cleaned out. I got the new pads ready. The sensor's back on it. I'm going to slide the new pads in there while we got it hanging and drying. I'm going to dry that off. I cleaned this already. I'm going to go ahead and spray it with just some heat sink type black paint just to protect it. I'm not going to put no grease on it. I've seen people putting grease on it. I don't want no centrifugal force pushing grease all over the rotor. You don't want that. So you bring your caliper up. It's real simple. Lean up against this. Again, I'm going to just use a rag so I don't scratch it up, mar it up. Got the backing plate on it. This is so easy. Slides on these bolts that are through here, and it just slides right in there. Retaining clips keep it. Okay, another thing, don't take these out. There's no reason to take these out. I saw one video where somebody took them out. You don't need to do that. There's no purpose in that. Leave those alone. So this is a simple brake job. I saw a guy do a brake job on this video, and he didn't clean nothing. He didn't do nothing with the rotors. He didn't take the shine off the face. I use a 3M Brillo wheel, and I rough them up. I take the shine off it from the previous brakes, and I'm doing these power stop pads. I'm not putting a lot of money into it, and I'll tell you why. And I'm reusing the sensor. And the reason is, I don't do a lot of heavy driving with this car. I definitely I don't do no racing. I don't go drive like a maniac. And I don't need to be stopping and having a lot of money spent in it. This is the second round. I'm going to burn these pads up. I'll probably at the most in the next 6 years. And I've had the car 6 years. I'm the original owner of it. And only got 39,000 on it. I probably, since I've shifted jobs and moved closer to work, I'm lucky if I'm going to put another 30 on it and probably 6 years. So I don't need to go spend a fortune on brake pads like the dealership wanted to charge me. They wanted $3,000 to do this job. That's crazy. I'm very frugal with my money, even though I got an expensive car, but I take good care of it. You got to push down. This inner one's always a pain in the tush. And you got to watch your sensor. It clips on the clip. Slides over on that clip. Come on now. Heavy. This is a very heavy caliper. Get it hooked down there. Take some of that weight up. Otherwise, it's giving me being a bugger. You know, the other one went out fine. Did it last time too. The sensor one gave me a fit. Oh, I know why. Because it's in. I gotta flip it over here. Use a screwdriver and just lift up on a little bit. Because the one that went in easy is now blocking me. There we go. I got it. You would have thought I would have learned from the last one, right? So you take the clip, just pry up on it a little bit. I'll take brake cleaner and make sure I got no grease or oil on it. There it goes. There it goes. I got it now. Just stick your screwdriver in, push it flush. Once you get it up over the clip holds it in place. Here, I'll flip it around for you. There, I got it. Okay, both of them are in. I had to bend that hook just right to get in that stud wall because it's so thick. I don't want to hang it on the brake line. Okay, got them in. I'll just spray those, make sure I got no people oil on it. Do some quick drying. We're almost there to put this back on. This slides on fairly easy, folks. Just trying to get the excess moisture off because I want to shoot some spray paint on. I wire brushed it. That just protects a little bit. You don't have to get carried away, but I've seen people spraying grease on it, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I check it every year anyway, so it comes off fairly easy. This will just give a little extra protection. Not a big deal. All right, let me get the rotor. These rotors are super heavy duty. They are no joke. Brake cleaner it. Again, make sure I got no hand oil on it. Don't want nothing. You want them new pads to stick. I cleaned this rotor up. I buffed it. And I buffed it. I got my homemade pins from the caliper, from the bolts. See this? These are 14 millimeter by 1.25, I think they are. You don't have to buy these. Just take them out of the caliper. They said people are suggesting that you replace them. Anyway, so I took the old ones, and they took 90 to 100 foot-pounds to get them out. I did reverse torque on them, and I just cut the heads off them. That way I can take the rotor, grab the outer edge of it, make sure you got your screw hole lined up. It's right there, because you got to put the screw back in. These rotors are stout. They're no joke. They are no joke. Take your 13 T30. Get your rotor lined back up. Make sure it starts. Give it a couple of whacks. There, don't turn anymore. Now your rotor's on. That's simple. I'll leave these on here because I'm going to use that to put the tire on and make the tire simplistic. Okay, now the next thing is I'm ready to take my caliper, roll it back over. So I'll bring out my caliper, take my hooks out so I don't forget them. They'll roll right back over. I've already pushed the pistons back. I had to take a little oil out of my reservoir. It was full. You look in here, you see where your bolt goes into the frame. Get your top one started. Top one started, which I got. Get your bottom one started with your hand. These get torqued to 20 foot-pounds, and then you rotate them another 90. It's a T30. I mean a T4, an M14 triple torques. I'm not gonna slam it in with the tool. The 20 foot-pounds ain't nothing. I'm just gonna get the slack out of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Caught me off guard. There, 20 foot-pounds ain't poop. But when you go to do that extra 90 turn, you're gonna know it, and you're gonna need a breaker bar to do that. All right, something to 20. Sorry, I wasn't ready. Got sidetracked with a visitor today. Okay, got it set to 20 foot-pounds. I got my my M14 triple Torx socket. 20 foot-pounds ain't nothing. I'm using a clip torque wrench. I know everybody likes the beeper, sorry, but it works. 20. That's it. 20 foot-pound. Now I'm going to swap to my breaker bar just for video, just to help you out. I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it so you can see it. Now I've measured it and I've done some testing on this, so I'm just going to mark it. Let's say right there, and I'm going to move it another 90, so it's going to come around to about here. And that gets you 80 to 100 foot-pounds. Now, I don't know why the company, it's beyond me, just don't make it a flat 100 foot-pounds or 90 foot-pounds. I don't understand it. But you can feel it torquing up as you bring it around. Now remember, I started at 20, and I'm going to bring it around another 90. And you think you're going to snap it. And there you go. And do the same thing with the bottom one. This is just a reference for you, so you know how far you turned it. You can feel it, trust me. Why they recommend changing them, I don't know. People are saying they extend, they stretch. I put them back in, the old ones, just as a test, and guess what? That's me. That was my fault. I didn't have it in all the way. You're going to do a stubby too. There, it's in. There's 90. So I measure that, and it runs 80 to 100 foot-pounds. You can do what you want. I'm doing what they recommend. All right, take your sensor, put it back into your caliper so don't get hung up. It's got a little groove right there, a little notch. Fits back down in there. Bring it up here to your bleeder. Your bleeder cap has a little catch in it, just for that. Come around. Oh, take your brake line, bring it back up over the clip. There's a clip down in here. Put it back in that clip. You can push this back. I guess that protects it. The sensor line goes on the back side of this. The bracket's on the back side. It's really hard to show you. But you go off 90. I don't know if you can see it. But you go off, it goes off 90 twisted. you can see where it plugs into. It's got a little spacer in it. You slide it up. It's got a little catch on it. You turn it, locks. Then you take the sensor itself, push it back on. There you go. Now I'm gonna go pump the brake, get those pistons expand, get some of that brake fluid back down. Make sure you put your reservoir cover back on. You don't forget. My reservoir is nice and high. I'm getting my brakes flushed. On Monday, I'm paying somebody to do it. It's going into an indie shop, and the indie shop's going to go ahead and flush my brake lines for me, do my transmission, my differentials, my gear set, my PDK, whatever you want to call it. There's all kinds of names. My transfer case. I'm going to get all that done. I decided to go that way, just rinsing this off. Make sure I got no excess junk on it. And that's it. That's putting the caliper back on. It's pretty simple. Actually, it's pretty simple. It's too bad I can't get these cleaner. I've tried everything to get these cleaned up. But that stuff just will not come off. It's a monster. I mean, the Maguire stuff does good, don't get me wrong, but that stuff's just a beast. I'll start the car. I'll carefully rotate the tire. I took my jack out. And now the tire, with my studs on here, it'll slide right on. It makes it actually easy for you to put back on. I don't want to make this video too long on you, so let's go ahead and I'll start the car and rotate the tire carefully. I got the tire cleaned over here. I got my 2 starting studs on there to help me out. I did a rear brake video. It was so long that dang thing didn't want to upload, and then my phone locked up, so I don't want to run into that problem again. So I cleaned the tire really good using the Maguire soap and water. So the nice thing about my homemade studs off the brake caliper is that they're long and they help you slide your tire on better. And then all I gotta do is put the studs in, pick it up. These are, from what I can read, these are torqued to 120 foot-pounds. It says 118, 120. I get all kinds of different numbers. So I've been setting it at about 118, and that's tight. Let me tell you, you got to put the front tire down in order to do it, because it's just, it'll spin it. I mean, I can spin it by hand without doing it. See, and then I'll clean my tire again. I'll rinse everything off. You want to put them all evenly. Make sure you got your tool, your security tool. Snug them all up. I start them all by hand. And then these T14s or M14 bolts from your brake caliper, now you got your own guide studs. I'd put these in back with your spare. You're out there in the road and it breaks down, and your wife needs to do this. Woo-wee! She might have fun, because these tires are hard, they're heavy. And the hardest part is, the sad part is, the lugs are male going into the rotor in that. So it's a little bit different and cumbersome. So an average person could struggle with this. And then you got to remember, you're trying to break 120 foot-pound torque. Whew. I'm a beastie dude, and it's not easy. So what I do with this is I'm just going to set my torque wrench at roughly 118.20, give or take. I'll put you in the ballpark. Some people don't even know that. They use their impact wrench, and that's a no-no. And I'm just going to tighten them up. I'll snug them up. I'll put it down. See how the wheel's turning? I'm at maybe 30, 20 foot-pounds at the most. Just get them all snugged up evenly. Then I'll put the car down. Now I'll put the car down. Got everything out. I checked everything. I got good front end, no problems. My CV joint's good. Make sure you're good to do a review. Now I'll put my air jack down. Put my car down, got my jack out. Now I'll take and torque it. And you want to do it sequential. A little bit here. Now over to this one. Whoops. Take the tool off. Dummy. Scary tool. Throws you off. Back up to your special tool. Too far down. There we go. That's 120. Boom. 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 And that's it. You're done. Brakes are done. Go for a test ride, clean up your mess. That's the fun part. All right, everybody. That is a 2018 Porsche Macan S front brakes. That's it. That's simple. Don't get too carried away with it. I don't do a lot of miles on this car. I won't do a lot of miles. These brakes will probably last me until I get rid of it, or if I decide to keep it. Then what I'll do is I'll go with high performance rotors and probably change calipers out, and I'll do the brakes. I'll do the whole gambit by myself and just pony up the money then. Right now, I just want to get 3-4 more years riding on these rotors and stuff, and then I'll throw some money into it and change everything out, because I'm not doing any hard driving. That's just it. I'm not gonna put a lot of money in something I'm not using really hardcore, and I just want to keep it safe and not have to spend more money because I damaged a rotor or something because I didn't pay attention to the brake pads or the system. Like I said, Monday I'm going in for a full fluid brake flush and change out. That's why I want to get the brakes done this way, so they're ready to go, and then I'll have the Indy shop just check it over, and they're going to do all the other fluids except for the engine, and they're going to check my antifreeze, and they're going to make sure I'm good to go. And I'll get another 4 to 6 years. Then the 4 years I'll do it again later, change all the oils. But I take good care of my car. It's garage kept, and I got 39,000 on it. It's a 2018. I'm the original owner, and I just take care of my stuff. All right, Henry out. Everybody have a good day.